Hi, and welcome to Men's World Today. Today we're talking about a subject that's quite close to my heart, and it's a subject that is quite relevant to a lot of my fellow men. We're talking about grief. Now, why is this important? You see, we live in a society where, yet again, and this is becoming a common theme on this channel, where men are expected to behave in a certain particular way and conform to certain norms. So one of them being that we are supposed to be, we're supposed to be stoic. You know, we've grown accustomed to suppressing our emotions, and we're supposed to be masculine. Now, while these have got their advantages, sometimes these traits and these behavioral norms create a problem for us when we need help. And one of those is during moments of grief. Now, grief is not planned. No one knows when it's going to happen to them. More importantly, there is no set way to deal with grief. Everybody deals with it in their own way, and every situation is different. But one thing we need to understand is that grief has a very significant impact on our mental state. And as you know, Men's World Today, we are all about helping and encouraging the man fraternity to live their best possible life holistically as possible. Now, where you have things have an impact on your mental state, it impacts on your ability to function at optimum levels in all areas of your life, be it your professional work, your professional setting, your business, your relationship, your family, and your friendship groups. So, why are we talking about grief? Well, the thing is this. If you look at the statistics, grief can cause anxiety and depression amongst some people, most men in particular. I know I've been there. I will come to that in a minute. But according to CDC in America, 1 in 10 men faces depression or anxiety every year. But yet less than half will seek any advice or help to deal with that. And more importantly, we are more prone to adhere to adverse coping mechanisms like excessive drinking, excessive smoking, indulging in excessive recreational drug taking. And what is the knock-on effect of that? It impacts our health. It impacts our ability to perform be it at work, be it in our business, be it in our relationship situation. So this is why it's important that we find ways to ask for help when we're going through grief. I'll give you an example. 2016 for me was a very tricky year. Around about June 2016, I was in a supermarket in UK, supermarket, doing a grocery shopping in UK as we call it. And I got a phone call. I heard my dad passed. Now, I've been planning to go and see my dad. So having heard that news, without even thinking, the tears just started coming out. And after about 5 seconds, I realized where I was. I was with my partner at the time, and obviously I was in a public place. And I just had to, get myself together and comport myself, because I realized I was in public. As a man, I'm not supposed to be showing this level of emotions, because as we know, this level of emotion is a sign of weakness. So, I carried on. And I have to be honest, throughout that whole session of shopping, I felt I was numb. I didn't feel like I was I wasn't present at that time. Because like I said, I've been meaning to see my dad. I knew he was ill, but I didn't realize things were going to escalate this quick. Now, a week later, I'd been trying to deal with this in my own way. A week later, my wife at the time then asked me for divorce. So then I'm thinking, right. By the end of the day, I'm sitting in the garden thinking, right, do I cry? Do I get angry? because I've got these two conflicting emotions in my head. How do I deal with it? Obviously, I'm trying to deal with it. And, you know, we live in the Western world, right? Particularly in the UK. One of the greeting, the main form of greeting we have is rather the phrase, "You're right. You're right." Now imagine, subconsciously, when someone asks you, "You're right," you're not going to start saying, "No, actually, I'm not all right. I've got this." You're not. You automatically say, "Yeah, I'm all right," and you just kind of bottle everything in and carry on with it, whilst you're fighting a battle inside. You know, there's two wars going on inside you, which was my situation. But luckily, you know, I got to open up to a couple of friends, and I tell you what, the interesting thing is, until you ask or you talk, you have no idea what other people are going through. Because opening up to a couple of people, I thought to myself, wow. And I thought I had it bad. Others also had it, if not worse, the same situation as me. And I guess it helped the healing. So fast forward, you know, I've gone through it. And this is one of the reasons why I appreciate the benefit of talking about things. We're all men. We all, you know, we know we're men. We're supposed to be masculine. But at the end of the day, the mind is absolutely important. It controls everything. And we need to get it in a good place. So, the moral of this video is this. When we are going through grief, understand where you are, understand what it is, and understand that it will have an impact on you. And once you understand those, then it becomes easy to understand how to deal with it. Asking for help is not a sign of weakness. It's a sign of strength, because you essentially are saying to yourself, I have a problem. I don't have the tools to deal with it. Let me get some help to deal with this. It's like when you have a car and it doesn't work or something goes wrong, you go and seek a mechanic. If you need an accountant, you go and see an accountant. You need a lawyer going through a divorce, you need a lawyer, you see a specialist. The same thing happens to when your mind or your mental state is not right. Let's make it normal. Let's normalize seeking professional help for this. So what are some of the avenues to go for help? Well, you can start with friends and family. Of course, you have to understand what friendship or family dynamics you have, because you obviously want to go to the members of friends or family who are more emotionally intelligent, so that can help you to, you know, cope or help you deal with what you're going through. You know, you can join groups, support groups. There are many about. You can do your own research. I mean, you know, there will be some at the end of this video. You can seek professional help. You know, I think we are at a point we are at a point in our lives where it's becoming normal for men to seek help, professional help, and you can get professional help if you need it, right? You can, you know, and indulge in some new routines, healthy routines, and new activities, new hobbies. For example, take up going to the gym. That's one of the things I did when I was going through my situation. The gym did help a lot, because, you know, what you don't realize is with this, where you are in a state of depression and anxiety and anger, one of the things that did happen to me was I found myself eating very poorly. Although I was going to the gym, I wasn't really performing at my optimum level, right? I threw myself into work. I was working all the hours under the sun, but I wouldn't say the quality of the output was that great, you know? But going to the gym and talking to people was the start of my journey of recovery. Because going to the gym, for example, you know, it offered a moment of meditation, a moment of solitude. It was an opportunity to kind of really think about what I was going to do. You know, again, start off with healthy rituals. For example, before you leave your house every day or your flat every day, I don't know, make sure that the flat is tidy. Make sure your bed is done. These simple things, these are all little ways. There are lots more that you can do, but just to touch on the surface, you know, you can seek to join support groups like Cruise bereavement support, Sue Ryder, grieving.com, Men's Grief Network. These are all avenues where you can seek help if you need it.